Alright guys, welcome back to another reaction video. We are going to take a look at another video of Ref Says Desu about Sweet Baby Inc. killing apparently another game. Let's get into it. If you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing, as it will be a huge help to this channel. Let's get into it.
Hey, what's up guys, Ref here. So today we have another
Hello,
video of
Ref.
Sweet Baby and DEI ruining a game and its success.
Yeah,
so
we love to see it as usual.
About this game, Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. As you can see, PlayStation here proudly announcing that this new open world.
It's not even funny at this point anymore.
Launched on the PS5. However, there's an issue if you look into the comments section. You can see hundreds of users saying things like this. And here is 6 random comments. This is not curated. This is just 6 comments in a row.
6 comments in a row about Sweet Baby Inc. Yeah, that seems funny to me.
Baby Inc. Who would have thought Sweet Baby would kill another video game? As you
who would have guessed?
That Park Place, Sweet Baby Inc. developed Flintlock. The Siege of Dawn releases to abysmal player numbers. Who would have thought?
Deserved.
If you totally
play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
A very, very bad start. This was a game that was hyped up for many years, and at launch here, it is already sitting.
Yeah, and then you take the idiots into your company.
It is going very, very poorly, and just like anything else, it all comes back to Sweet Baby.
Oh, they
ruined another game with their.
They are privated. I wonder why.
Woke agenda. Now, this is why.
Because they get their ass beat.
Sweet Baby and what they're working on is so crucial, because right now they are a death mark. They are a death mark on.
Yeah, they're like those like
whatever company they're
marks
with,
you put on cows is like
when players
Sweet Baby Inc.
This, they're gonna speak with their wallets, and I'm glad they're doing this with this game
as
well.
Speak if you don't like something. Speak with your wallets. That's what the Genshin. Well, don't not only speak with your wallets, but also don't play the games. Unlike Genshin Impact players who love their game regardless if it does stupid shit or not. Ah, Cabrutus. I know that name from Twitter.
Companies, consulting firms.
That's the Sweet Baby Inc. The DI detected stuff.
It's such an insane situation where Sweet Baby and these other companies, they don't want you to know what they're working on, because
of course not.
Their name is now negative. It is something that does not.
Of course not. Which is why they try to hide them.
You would think if this company was so proud of themselves, they would want everyone to know what games they're working on, but that is not the case.
Yeah, they're really. Yeah, no, they're not really proud of them.
Don't want anything attached.
If they were proud of what they were doing, they would.
Let's talk about
be more open about it,
because this is a very interesting case
of
a company inviting in Sweet Baby and DEI initiatives and then completely collapsing and hamstringing its own success. So
literally adopting the virus. That is insane.
About 3 or 4 months ago, where people like Cabrutus made a very interesting discovery about Flintlock, and he would add this game to the curation list because they found out through a very interesting source, a physical copy of Edge magazine, where there's a section involving Kim Belair, the Sweet Baby Inc. CEO. Now let's check out this.
Okay, that's interesting.
As they're describing Flintlock, they mentioned directly for Flintlock, it was Tops Harjo who brought
finding it out in that way is wild.
Very important. She was the former COO at this company.
Isn't that the chick that said that people should go to their bosses and threaten them what would happen if they don't accept DEI? Holy, I remember that. That was something.
And the first thing she did when she came in was bring in Sweet Baby with her. And wow, who would have thought that?
That's like a sick student walking into a healthy class and infecting everybody around him.
Game would fall apart as soon as that happened. So, Kim Belair.
That's the equivalent.
You guys should know and recognize.
Oh, these posts are protected. I wonder why.
CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. She is the one who is pushing very hard. She is famous for her quote where she said that you should go to your bosses and intimidate them and threaten them with cancel culture if they don't work with people like Sweet Baby. Now, around that time back,
cancel culture is realistically useless at this point because it's really easy. Just don't let yourself get cancelled. It's that easy. Like, there are plenty of content creators that refuse to get cancelled, even though they do weird ass stuff.
in March, the next day after Kabrutus' discovery, you have Mark Kern here who made a
This man is doing God's work.
Going further into the many issues that happened around the time Sweet Baby got involved with the game. So here's the thread saying, proof Sweet Baby Inc. ruins games. SBI game Flintlock by A44 Games has been overrun by woke. And here's a quote from a source from that company saying, I used to work there. Flintlock was a good
like an
project
army
with lots of potential. Then it was ruined.
So it was apparently a good. So let me get this straight. So it would have been a good game if it were not for SBI. Okay, that's interesting.
This is a rumor from a source that seems very knowledgeable about the studio's inner workings. Take that as it is. If others would like to verify, please DM me. And also that the CEO and COO at A44 no longer work with the company, but the damage was already done before.
So the CEO brought in the virus, that is the sickness, rather, that is SBI. And when they fucked up, both of them left the company to save themselves. This is insane.
Before they left. Now here's some of the damage we're talking about. So, did you know the protagonist
and then the good deaths
used
stayed.
To be white when COO and casting director.
So let me get this straight. When Genshin Impact players complain about Genshin characters being too white, it is fine. But if they turn somebody, a character that was originally planned to be originally white, into a person of color, that's fine. That's also fine. That's interesting. So, if I complain about that character being turned into a person of color, I'm the problem. But if somebody else on the quote-unquote right side of the history is complaining about white characters not being black or people of color, this is just so stupid. Let's continue. My brain is already melting.
Joined the studio. Her first actions were to change the character to hire Sweet Baby Inc. and change the main character to a person of color. Now, you can already hear like the games journalists and the
literally forced diversity.
Minorities in video games. That's not why people are confused by this move. They're confused because it seems like a very obvious.
The problem isn't minorities in video games. The problem is bad characters, which happen to be often minority characters. A lot of black characters suck because they are not written well. They are in the game for the sake of being in the game. A lot of gay characters suck because they are not because they are gay, but because they are horribly written. A lot of these minorities are in games not because they want to have a good character is also part of a minority, but just because they need a minority character. It's like the obligatory person of color that is in a show and then dies early on, just so they can say, "Hey, I have a black character in the game in that movie." It's just like cowardly, and I'm looking for a certain word, but I cannot find it. Yeah, horrible. Horrible.
Diversify this game when you had an existing character and then you race swap them, clearly just to follow through on Sweet Baby Inc.'s agenda. I mean, it's not a coincidence that happened as soon as Sweet Baby was tagged along on this project. On top of that, there's claims that Tops Harjo is rumored to have used the company's funds and manpower to power her personal agenda.
They used the money from the company to fund something completely unrelated. This company is run by idiots.
And projects on initiatives not related to the game or even to the studio itself. That is a very
I'm just shaking my head.
if it is true, and you can see down here from some
at this point it's not even funny, it's sad.
They say this.
Because imagine you have a creative vision as a developer, and then your CEO brings somebody along that destroys not only that creative vision, but also the passion you had for that creative vision. That is a waste, and it is sad. It's not even... This is a general issue I have when people say, oh, Sweet Baby Inc. is involved, hopefully this game fails. The sad part is that something good always gets lost. The games that suffered from Sweet Baby Inc. and DEI could have probably been really good games. They probably had a good creative vision, but it was ruined by a scam. Which DEI, ESG and Bridge are. They are scams. They tell companies that they will make more money if they have DEI ingrained into the company, but the truth is that those companies start to fail. So now they start to remove their DEI teams. Now, if you think that's a good thing, it's not, because they're just renaming it. Or when I saw that the original Bridge article, it was said that there should not be DEI teams, but everyone should work on DEI in the company. Even the smallest grain of rice is supposed to work on DEI. That's how wicked these people are.
Yeah, I've witnessed our UI artist making art assets for its website.
Wait, what the The UI artist made assets for something completely else. As like a side quest.
As their sprint tasks. Basically, having these people do these tasks to, I guess, test their performance, but it's creating
Did they at least get paid? Did they at least get paid? Please say that they got paid. I may have had some issues with the audio, I have no idea though. We'll see. Let's continue.
Personal agenda, which, again, if that is true, that is absolutely outrageous. In the thread we continue saying this, aside from working with Sweet Baby Inc. and making changes to the game, Andrea also directed numerous changes in HR in her role as COO. In 2021, most developers were denied raises and evaluations were postponed for at least 6 months. Audrea told HR to inform anyone who complained or asked questions that the reason is because I said so. She also ordered the HR
telling like a little child, why is the sky blue? Because I said so.
From the company, HR tried to help, but they were unable to get
the high salaries.
about the studio finances. Meanwhile, the new hires and changes to the game resulted in a project where, in quotes,
so they eventually, because of new hiring, they eventually made it so that there were eventually not enough of the old developers, to the point where there were people who did not know how to make a game. So they were eventually all replaced, if I understand that correctly. That is wild.
People knew nothing about how a video game is made, and
that is terrible. These people suck.
After nearly 2 years of these DEI changes at A44, the damage had been done, and at that point, the studio was purchased for $175 million, which, as he points out, is an unusual.
Imagine you make a game, you fail at making that game, and then you get bought.
In September of 2021, a gaming collective fund whose founder also founded the Kowloon Knights Gaming Fund. It was at that point where Audra, the COO, left the company.
Bye-bye.
And a lot of people might
cost enough destruction, I'll leave.
To salvage the situation because it was already.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did not salvage the situation, I assume.
A few years back.
Because there's probably more.
When these discoveries were made by people like Cabrutus, people reached out to A44, right? And they wanted to see, is this true? Was Sweet Baby Inc.'s involvement with this game? Was that something that actually happened? And it seemed very clear there was. And the studio would try to deny this, but they wouldn't provide any proof. And they claim that Sweet Baby's no longer involved and the changes had been all reversed.
So they're no longer
any of those things.
So they're no longer part of the company. They made all the changes. Wouldn't that mean that the main character would be white again? If they removed all the changes? I don't think they removed all the changes, which is why they are trying to deny
the proof that Sweet Baby's no longer
this,
involved, and the proof that the changes that they made were actually reversed. There's no proof of that. And on top of that, if you go further in this Kepler interactive group,
okay,
Lizzie Kane individual, who is the senior operations and grown manager, would get very upset when Mark Kern made that thread questioning some of the practices within this company. And this was her reaction. Absolutely fuming, vibrating off the effing plane of reality.
Yeah, they did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. By this statement alone, I can tell that they did absolutely nothing.
Incredible to see in real time and closer to home how wrong
she even censored Grums.
How damaging he and his weird troop are. I mean, there's nothing more like weird than having to censor a person's name. Like what?
The evil G. He who cannot be named.
Was this guy Voldemort to you or something? But yeah, that is a pretty
Voldemort.
And now we fast
yeah, that looks like a funny graph. That looks like a very successful game. 10 out of 10. You failed miserably, you absolute idiots.
Active players. Yeah, you don't need to know too much about the gaming sphere to know. That is absolutely terrible,
especially since this problem would have been so easy to solve. Just straight up be transparent. Show the process of undoing the changes.
Especially for a high budget project like this. And you can see...
Oh, they already put it on sale. That's interesting.
They're already applying 10% discounts on this game. Yeah. Absolute disaster.
Yep, this is horrible. This is miserable.
Game. And that is not surprising. And that is, again, why it's so important to have DEI detected and Sweet Baby Inc. detected.
Yep, those are really important.
And see their connection to Sweet Baby and what they're working on, so you can avoid those products because
yep, I'm trying my best to avoid these people.
For this video, I appreciate you guys listening. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, I did enjoy the video. What can you say about this? I find it funny. I would find it funny if a future company again works with SBI, fully probably knowing that this is a death sentence. Yeah, like it's just funny to me how they just don't learn. And the worst part is, again, I'm sad for the developers that I had a creative vision, that were passionate about this, and yeah, essentially got fucked over. Yeah, this is just sad to me. But yeah, I guess that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.